this is kind of end on a funny note. This is not a serious segment here. And in fact, I call it a clown fight or a clown's fight. Rabbi Shmuley against Candace Owens, because I don't consider Candace Owens a serious person. For some reason, some people in the political talk space have forgotten about Candace Owens' history, because she in the last year or maybe 2 years, she's trying to polish herself, make herself seem more legitimate than the crazy shit she used to do. So she's just polishing herself and trying to seem normal. And some people are buying that. I'm not one of them that's buying that. But let's go to that part. It's the debate. And so if you didn't know the story, where's that? If you didn't know the story, Rabbi Shmuley and Candace Owens are in some sort of feud. And the feud is over her criticism or opinions about what's happening in Israel, which doesn't sound good to him. Apparently, that he doesn't like what they're saying. So let's listen to her here in this short video here.
Kanye West, notoriously, obviously, when he tweeted out, "I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on some Jews," and the media freaked out, and people in the Jewish community were understandably very scared, not knowing what he meant. And I very much abstained from speaking much about the issue because people were so emotional that people couldn't hear, even if I had shared. And even when Kanye did share that he was speaking about specific people in Hollywood that he believed were coming after him and were trying to control him. Rabbi Shmuley was threatening me, and it wasn't just him, it was also his daughter. They were messaging me saying, "Don't mess with Jews." Very bizarre stuff, and they have not stopped, to be clear. And so what I believe is something that should be explored is whether or not what's happening is that, just like within all communities, there are gangs, right? Gangs can form. We understand this. In the Black community, we've got the Bloods and we've got the Crips. Well, imagine if the Bloods and the Crips were doing horrific things, murdering people, controlling people with blackmail. And then every time a person spoke out about it, the Bloods and the Crips would call those people racist. Would get the media to say those people were racist. Any person that was talking about a specific gang, a small group of people, would say, "Oh my God, no. That's like slavery. You can't at all say anything bad about the Bloods and the Crips." And the entire Black community believed it and was scared and thought, "Oh my God, like, is slavery actually coming back?" But what if that is what is happening right now in Hollywood? If there is just a very small ring of specific people who are using the fact that they are Jewish to shield themselves from any criticism? It's food for thought, right? And I think, again, there have been enough people that are speaking out about a ring in Hollywood, also a ring potentially in DC, that we should start to ask those questions. All of us, Black, Spanish, Jewish, Chinese, Japanese, all Americans should want answers, because this appears to be something that is quite sinister.
All right, so I started with the shorter video first. And let's read what Rabbi responds. Actually, no, I don't want to.
Kanye West,
notorious. I don't want to read that part yet.
Obviously, when he.
Let's pause that. What I want to do is play this other part here. Now, I'm going to play the longer version of the clip we just saw. That clip was edited. They edited out the part of where it shows Rabbi Shmuley's daughter and Rabbi Shmuley. So I'm going to play that, but first I want to play this snippet when Rabbi Shmuley first heard of Candace Owens doing a stream. He heard it before he saw the stream. This is what he put out.
Hi, everybody. My understanding is, although I have not seen it myself, Candace Owens launched a broadside attack against me and my daughter Rachalea for calling her out on her anti-Semitism, Jew hatred, and bigotry over the last year at least. This is a woman who defended Kanye West when he said he loved Hitler. I want to tell you something. It is possible, although I'm not positive, but I think it's very possible that even David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the Klan, never publicly praised Hitler. To praise Hitler, you have to be a man of such hatred. Kanye West, they say he's troubled. That's an excuse. He's a vile Jew hater. And Candace Owens is his bestie, best friend, defended him, said that he's not an anti-Semite, has always stuck by him. Then when October 7th came, when the whole world saw Jewish women shot in their vaginas, Candace Owens said she could not yet come to a moral decision on who was right and wrong about October 7th. Hi, everybody.
So her refusal to come to a decision to take a side. Remember, she had the feud with Ben Shapiro over this, and then Rabbi Shmuley sort of joined the attacking on her because of that stance that she had. So now let's go to the longer version. Now, just to be clear, the what I'm playing you in the rep about Rabbi Shmuley and her is part of a longer stream that's talking about Michael Jackson and Diddy and exposed about what happened. And Rabbi Shmuley was very engaged, was I wouldn't say best friends, but was friends with Michael Jackson. And when Michael Jackson died, he came out with a book. So that's just to let you know that's why you see what you see on the screen. But let's move forward to the part that we want to talk about. And now let's watch the full version of the clip. So it's going to include the part we saw earlier, but it's now going to play the part where the footage of the daughter and the rabbi.
Just now, Michael Jackson, we also have seen these claims with Kanye West, notoriously, obviously, when he tweeted out, I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on some Jews, and the media freaked out, and people in the Jewish community were understandably very scared, not knowing what he meant. And I very much abstained from speaking much about the issue because people were so emotional that people couldn't hear, even if I had shared. And even when Kanye did share that he was speaking about specific people in Hollywood that he believed were coming after him and were trying to control him. He actually named some of those individuals. He shared personal text messages of a friend of his, a personal trainer to the stars, who again happens to be Jewish, was threatening to put him in the hospital and to drug him against his will. Harley Pasternak is his name, and the media barely reported on those text messages that he shared publicly because obviously he was enemy number one. And here's what else I will tell you. When that Kanye situation went down, I was being threatened by a person named Rabbi Shmuley, person that Michael Jackson put on his enemy list, the person that I had never heard of, was threatening me and saying that unless I came out and said things explicitly against Kanye, he would effectively ruin my life. He said that he would take out a front.
So now this story of Kanye and Candace, like, this is new. I found this out when I was preparing for this. One, I haven't been paying attention to Kanye West since The Good Life with T-Pain. Okay. Haven't been paying attention to him at all. Like, that was the last Kanye that I liked was part of that album, Late Registration or whatever it was. What was that? Graduation. What I didn't know was Candace Owens and Kanye West have formed a friendship over some of the things that he has said about Jews. And then I guess she came to find out he was talking about specific Jewish people in the industry. So this is something that was new to me when I was researching this. But now let's get into the Rabbi Shmuley stuff or the extra footage that was missing in the previous clip.
Front page ad and smear me as an anti-Semite. And it wasn't just him. It was also his daughter.
Oh, so anyway, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this part. So that's where it started. So it didn't just start with Rabbi Shmuley and Candace Owens with this October 7th. That's not when this started. This predates that, as she's speaking about here.
Daughter were messaging me saying, don't mess with Jews. Very bizarre stuff. And they have not stopped, to be clear. And him and his daughter have consistently pulled clips from this show, taken them out of context, and tried to convince Jewish people that I hate them.
Candace Owens is gripped with a poisonous, almost pathological hatred of Jews. It's actually become very serious. It's actually almost frightening. When you see a woman like Candace Owens blood libeling the Jewish people, by the way, Candace Owens is losing it. Her anti-Semitism goes by the day.
There is something really, truly wrong with Candace Owens. You guys know that I dislike liars and anti-Semites more than anything in a whole entire world. And here we have a combination of both.
Candace Owens simply will not stop defending Kanye West. It's like an obsession. If she's unable to genuinely and authentically condemn what Kanye said, it says a lot about her.
If you come for us, we'll come back at you with everything that we have. I have heard from hundreds of you who feel so backstabbed and betrayed and disappointed in Candace Owens and others who defended, who enabled and encouraged Kanye West to continue spreading lies and venom and medieval Jewish hatred. Candace Owens posted a picture of my face and my name and my account to her over 4 million followers yesterday, many of whom are violence crazed and unhinged.
You really went after Candace Owens today. Why?
And that's a sliver of what she actually deserves. She is such a liar. She is an anti-Semite. She hates Jews. She has a thing with Jews.
Incredible, isn't it? Like, weird.
And while Jews are being attacked around the world, she finds it really necessary to spend her time, use her platform to defend and protect Kanye West while she talks
A Hitler lover.
crap about
Kanye
Israel.
West is not just a anti-Semite. He's a Hitler lover. That's a different level altogether.
Literally. She is abominable. I actually am disgusted by her because she hates Israel. We are coming for you, Candace, on the media, on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter.
The more she defends Kanye West, the more we're going to call her out.
Defending Kanye, we will come for you.
It's utterly ridiculous. It's insane. I know many Jewish people.
So that's the extra footage. That wasn't in the other clip. Kanye West started this stuff, apparently, or her defense of Kanye West started this stuff. Now I'll read what he says here. Rabbi Shmuley says, this is all just coming to my attention. Did Candace Owens imply that I killed Michael Jackson and that a cabal of Jews is murdering African-American Hollywood celebrities? Or did I get that wrong? Has she lost it completely? This is her and Kanye West. This is a picture. I didn't know this picture, but Kanye West's shirt says White Lives Matter and her shirt says White Lives Matter. I mean, clowns. Two clowns. Candace and Kanye, for sure. Let's read what Rabbi Shmuley says here. Actually, let me make this bigger. American Abomination Candace Owens, the new face of racism and anti-Semitism. Ben Shapiro, host Candace, is a new face of American racism and anti-Semitism. He tags the Daily Wire also. A self-hating black woman who joined the Kanye West, who joined with Kanye West to degrade the murder of George Floyd with her White Lives Matter provocation. I need to read this. Kanye said Floyd died of fentanyl rather than police choking him. She is the foremost defender of the Hitler-loving Kanye and a lunatic conspiracy monger who says Jews run, I think that's supposed to be pedophile sex rings in Hollywood. Cancel your subscription to the Daily Wire. Here's another. I think this is the shit. I don't want to go through all these videos. I think this is the full one that I might play, and then the other one is a short version. So let's listen to him.
Hi, everyone. I'm speaking to you from my home. When you walk into my living room, this is the first thing you see. Picture of Martin Luther King and then Elie Wiesel, my two great social justice heroes. Elie Wiesel, of course, because the greatest witness to the Holocaust and genocide, and Martin Luther King, because he was the greatest American of the 20th century who restored America to its founding principles that every human being is created in the image of God, and that all human beings are equal, and God loves them all equally. Muslims, Jews, atheists, agnostics, Buddhists, Hindus, Protestants, Muslims, Jews, conservatives, liberals. We in America have begun to hate each other, and people are fomenting hate. One of those people is Candace Owens, who's been on a rant in what can only be described as a complete nervous breakdown over the past 24 hours against me and my daughter, Rachel. She actually is a misogynist, Candace Owens, besides being an anti-Semite. I'll get to that in a moment. She calls my daughter a hag. She has to say that. She engages in the most disgusting ad hominem attacks. I had no issue with Candace Owens. I had met her once.
What?
My issue with Candace Owens began when Kanye West became America's foremost anti-Semite and said that he's going DEFCON 3 against the Jews and how much he loves Hitler. And the only person to defend him and say that it's okay for him to say this was Candace Owens. She was unrelenting. You're allowed to say that you love Hitler, and you can get away with it because Candace Owens will protect you. So we started calling her out on that, and then she just got worse and worse. Circumcision was an act of mutilation against babies.
Yeah, I think most people, if you don't know, to this comment, yeah, most people, I think he was born John. His father too. His father went somewhere, took a trip somewhere and learned about the historical figure Martin Luther, came back to the U.S. and changed his name and his son's name to Martin Luther King. He was not born Martin Luther King. No, he was not. Just a fun fact. Let's go.
Then October 7th came. And of course, she wouldn't even condemn the barbarity, the butchery, the gang rapes of Jewish women, the decapitations of Jewish babies. She said that she would have to think about it to see which side was right. Was it Hamas? Was it Israel? And then we knew
he's just being disingenuous.
Sees Jewish life as worthless. And of course we called her out on it because never again means never again. You know what her defense is? Her defense is that because she's Black, anyone who calls out her anti-Semitism is a racist.
What?
Talk about engaging in the most disgusting identity politics. Now, the media is saying that I'm calling for the Daily Wire to fire her. I'm doing no such thing. Let me be clear. I don't control the Daily Wire. And I don't know what the legal ramifications are. What I'm saying is that Ben Shapiro, who wears the yarmulke and is a proud pro-Israel person, and the Daily Wire is supposed to be conservative, how does this all make sense? How do they have an anti-Semite on the air, someone who cannot even condemn Hamas?
That's a good question. Ben Shapiro was not able to answer that, though, because he had the same issue with her and had a public fight. We covered the shenanigans of that. Now we're gonna play maybe 2 minutes of this to close, and then we'll close this segment.
Careful, Candace. A lot of this is real defamation and libel. You're treading in pretty forbidden grounds, but I think your only defense, if this ever becomes a major legal issue, is that you're really betraying yourself as emotionally and intellectually unbalanced. But why has it come out in the direction of a global Jewish conspiracy, that we Jews control Hollywood, that we Jews are trying to bring down Black people? Let me be clear. Candace Owens made her name because she was a conservative. Now she's engaging in pure identity politics. Why did I call her out over?
I'm so tired of why are you guys claiming that we control TV? It's a sheer provable fact. If you can just say, hey, the people who you run this company, are you Jewish? Yes. And then you do this, you kind of do a check of all the people in power that's running companies, and a lot of them are Jewish. That'll be like saying me pointing out that most of the NBA is Black. That's a physical fact. That's a physical fact. That the majority of people in the NBA is Black. The majority of people in the NFL is Black. So me stating that particular fact doesn't make me a racist. So let's continue.
Her love for Kanye West, not because she was defending America's foremost anti-Semite, not because she was defending someone who said he's going DEFCON 3 against the Jews, not because she was defending someone who combined a swastika with a Magen David, not because she was defending someone who said he loves Hitler. Remember, Hitler murdered 10,000 Jews a day and gassed 1.5 million Jewish children. No, I came after her because she's Black. Talk about the most disgusting excuses for your vile behavior. Candace, this man is up in my living room every single day at the top of that list, Martin Luther King, that you would disgrace.
That totally looks like a picture he just pinned up there. I guess but he is worshiping the whitewash version of Martin Luther King.
At the top of that list, Martin Luther King.
Like a lot of you said in the chat, Martin Luther King, he would have hated Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King would have hated his guts. Martin Luther King was pro-Palestinian. Martin Luther King was anti-military. Martin Luther King would be against the genocide that's happening right now.
Luther King, that you would disgrace the African-American community by saying that being black is an excuse to be an anti-Semite. Don't use your blackness as an excuse to be an anti-Semite.
Yeah, she disgraced the black community a long time ago before this. Like I said, I don't take her seriously at all. Even this reform version of Candace Owens, this polished version of her, I don't take her seriously whatsoever.